friends and neighbors. I'm a bit in progress. Welcome to the UK. Hello, friends and neighbors. Welcome back.
Hello. Yeah, so today I found a load of American stereotypes based upon the media that we receive in Europe. And I'm going to ask Craig about these stereotypes, and he's going to tell me whether they are nonsense or not nonsense. First question. Are house parties like in the movies, i.e. solo cups, big, like massive parties, people having sex, cops breaking them up?
I'm gonna go with a hard yes.
Hard yes?
Yeah, hard yes.
So they have solo cups and...
Yeah.
Okay, describe an American party you've been to then.
If you've ever seen the movie Risky Business, that.
What, just you in your underwear and sliding across the floor with a couple of prostitutes?
Yeah.
But I have seen the movie Risky Business. With the cops breaking them up thing, were you ever at a party where it was broken up by cops?
I've never been there when it got broken up. I've always been 10 minutes after I left.
You just have a really innate sense of timing, or you've been calling cops on people?
I went to this one party when I was in university where, I think I told you this story, where everyone went up on the roof of the house to watch the sunrise, and then I took the ladder down and left.
You're such an asshole.
And then everyone ended up getting arrested.
Can you really get a place at a good university based entirely on sports, even if you're not smart?
This one's slightly harder, because I wasn't really friends with a lot of people that were like good at sports. And most of the people that I was friends with in the extracurriculars that I did do were already pretty smart anyway. That one I'm not sure about. Like in our high school though, the captain of the football team like got, better grades than I did. So he was a really smart dude.
Are there really such defined cliques at American high schools? So jocks and cheerleaders and nerds and band geeks and stuff like that?
Yes, 100%, definitely a thing. Although, contrary to popular belief, I don't think that it's usual, like they usually all hate each other, though.
So usually they get along, basically, is what you're saying?
In my experience, generally they all got along.
And for our viewers, which one were you?
Band geek, nerd.
Hey, little band geek. Do your high schools have corridors filled with lockers?
The older high schools do.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the newer built ones don't have them. Like, we had a massive student body. We had, like, when I was there, at the peak of the time I was there, we had 5,000 kids. And we had enough lockers for, like, 1,000 of them.
Mm.
So the school made money off of them, selling them at a premium. So, like, if you wanted a locker, you had to pay for it for the year. And like it was offered for the seniors and then down. So the seniors got first pick.
Right?
And then if anything was left over by the time it got to the then you got one as a freshman.
So if you didn't have lockers, what did you do with your stuff?
You carried it around.
In a bag?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Same as us, really. I mean, we also had lockers, but we didn't really use them. Like, and they were always in really out of the way sort of places, like behind the DT classroom and stuff like that.
The ones that we did have in my high school were pretty convenient. It was like the way the main building was shaped is there was like a big hallway across the front, and then there were wings that went, perpendicular to it, and all the lockers were in the front.
Alright, and that makes sense. So you could nip by your locker on the way to something. Is it really easy to buy a gun?
I'm not going to answer this question for fear of offending people.
Well, I mean... What are the sort of rules in place for when you get a gun? Do you have to have checks and stuff?
The short answer is yes. The slightly longer answer is depending on what state you live in, and the longest answer is yes.
The longest answer is yes! Is socialism seen as a bad thing in America?
It's a generational thing.
Mm-hmm.
So more of the younger people that are better educated about what, like the different types of socialism that there is, are not like so freaked out about it, but the older generation definitely lose their collective minds.
That makes sense. Generational makes sense because I suppose they were more in the sort of Nixon Reagan type area and
Yeah, Red Scare and all that.
so mentally
A lot of the older people don't quite understand that there's different forms of socialism that aren't communism.
Different levels. Oh yeah, on a date, does the man usually pay?
Generational?
Well, did you pay on your dates?
Yes.
So it can't be that generational, can it?
Yeah, but I was brainwashed.
Why which side did it come from, if you will? Like, did the women want you to pay, or did you want to pay for the women?
Well, I was indoctrinated to believe that I should pay for things.
By?
Society. You have money, women. Pay your half.
I mean, I don't really understand the idea of only the man paying, especially in the modern era when, we're earning as much as I'm earning the same amount as you, basically. So why would you have to pay for it? It doesn't make any sense.
There are a lot of chicks just trying to get free dinner, though.
How can you tell the difference between someone who is pursuing you for free dinner and someone who's pursuing you because they want to date you?
They go post about it on Reddit.
Do you still tip, even if the service was bad?
Yes. I tip, if the service is bad, I tip the recommended amount, which is usually like 20%.
20%?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't normally tip 20%.
If you're nice to me, though, you get a lot more. Because I got you hospitality people. I know how it is.
Is the healthcare system as expensive as people say?
I read this morning that somebody who was in the hospital with coronavirus was discharged with a 14-page bill for $1.1 million.
Jesus Christ.
However, I do believe that that was his bill before insurance, so he's not going to have to pay for all of that, but that's not the point.
Presumably he's going to have to pay for a fairly reasonable chunk of it.
Depends on his insurance.
Like, he's not going to end up coming out with a $200 bill, is he?
No. It depends on his insurance. He could pay anywhere from like $700 to a couple thousand, but he won't be responsible for all of it. But that's not the point. It's not the point, guys. Can't charge people $1.1 million for being in the hospital with a pandemic virus.
Do you really not get that much vacation?
It depends on what sector of the economy you're in and what level you are at the company that you're in. So, like, during my career as a chef, the only places that I ever got vacation time that I could take were at the Breakers Hotel and the old folks home that I worked at. And other than that, I was never offered any vacation time that I would be paid for or not paid for. It was just kind of if you wanted to take a vacation, you just kind of had to ask and hope that, the chef said yes. That's fine. And there was a decent chance that if he did say yes, that meant don't come back. It never happened to me, but I heard from other people that it happened.
Well, that's bad. Last one. Do you have to file your own taxes?
I'm literally going to kill myself. Yes, you do have to file your own taxes. And it's really dumb because the government already knows how much money you made and what you owe.
What is that? I mean, the only point in that is basically
But here's the
getting
thing.
money.
Here's the thing about that, though, is almost no one I know actually does their own taxes. They pay for a service to do it for them.
So basically, it's so that the services can make money.
Yeah, the tax filing industry is a multi-billion-dollar industry in the U.S., and it's why every time, because it does come up fairly frequently that some congressman will try to pass a bill to move to the way that it gets done here, and all the tax filing companies like TurboTax and H&R Block will put millions of dollars into lobbying against it. So it's so it's just a pointless government-sponsored industrial monopoly, or not monopoly, but triopoly. There's only like 3 companies together. But yeah, that's why you have to file your own taxes, Americans, is because TurboTax, H&R Block, and all the other ones spend a bunch of money to buy the politicians.
My question for it as well is it really complicated to do?
To sit down and do it yourself on paper, it depends on what you do for a living, whether you're self-employed, employed by someone else, and how detailed you want to get with it.
Right. So if you go more detailed, you're more likely to get off certain amounts of tax. Is that right?
Yeah, but you're also more likely to make mistakes, and then the IRS audits you, and then you get in a lot of trouble.
Right. So the thing is, if you go into greater detail with exactly each expenditure, say, you're more likely to get money off it. But then if the tax companies, if the IRS then comes after you and checks and says, "Oh, this is wrong," and you haven't got proof of it, then you can get done for that.
Yeah.
Right. Got you. I see the reasoning now.
Using a tax company like the one that I used to do mine from here in TurboTax just makes it a lot easier because, funnily enough, you know how it's really. I was just thinking about this actually as I was doing my taxes here a couple weeks ago, and you have you get an electronic identification number from your employer, and you type that You type that number into TurboTax, and it pulls your tax information from the government.
Well, I've actually filed tax in the UK before, but that was because they messed up when I moved away to Japan, and it wasn't that complicated at all, really. But then I think that's partly because I wasn't earning any money in the UK, so I was just like, no money in the UK.
Yeah.
But none of the, if you did reasonable records, the self-filing element of the tax in the UK, this only happens if you're self-employed, by the way, doesn't seem that complex to me. But I mean, that might just be me. I'm quite good at admin.
So those are American Stereotypes and how I feel about them. Thanks for watching.
Cheers.
Like, comment, subscribe, and next time we cook a chicken.